X equals, out loud, come on.
X equals
B
plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
All right, b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. If I ask you on your final, and I do, just give me the discriminant. You'll find a, b, and c in standard form first, and just do b squared minus 4ac. Piece of cake. I am giving you one more quiz, by the way, on this stuff.
Would it be the square root of b squared?
No. It's just b squared minus 4ac. Do not do the square root. Okay? All right. So let's take an equation. 2x squared 3x minus 5 equals 0. What's A?
2.
What's B? And what's C? Now we're going to plug this in to the quadratic formula. Oh, by the way, can we factor this? This is factorable, so on your final, you can factor it and solve it your way. If it's not factorable, you're going to be using the quadratic formula. It is entirely up to you. This one's factorable. All right, so let's see if you know how to plug it in. -3, right, because that's 3, plus or minus the square root 9 minus 4 to -5, all over 2a, 4. All right. -3 plus or minus, that's 9. Now you got to be careful here. Don't even look at the 9. What does that come out to? Positive 40.
Yes.
So we have a perfect square. That's how I knew it was going to be factorable. All over 4. I'll write it one more time since I'm videotaping. That would be 7 all over 4. This is not a final answer. You take it and you split it into -3 plus 7 over 4, -3 minus 7 over 4. That's 1, -5/2, -5/2. That's how you use the quadratic formula. Now, somebody factor this for me. Let's do it the other way. Anybody really good at guess and check here? Come on.
2x plus 5 and x plus 4.
Now, if I'm taking a final exam and I have to factor something, the first thing I'm going to do before I continue is FOIL it. 2x squared, 5x and -1x, 3x minus 5. I know I factored it right. That's something a lot of you don't do. And then you go through all that work and you don't even get the right answer because you didn't check it. So, 2x plus 5 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. There's your 1. And there's your -5/2. Yeah.
I think it's quicker to not use the quadratic formula.
Absolutely quicker not to use the quadratic formula. The problem is sometimes you can't factor it. You know where you used to write prime? Well, you don't quit now. You have the quadratic formula. You're going to find the answer. It's going to be some crazy radical number, but you're going to find it. All right, let's do one you can't factor. (2x squared minus 4x minus 21). This one can't be factored. What's A?
2.
B? 4 or -4? C. All right. This one's going to be really ugly because it's not factorable. All right. Opposite of B, plus or minus 16 minus 4 to negative 21. All over 4. What do we get inside there? This is the only time I would use I wouldn't even use a calculator. I would just use it maybe for this part and then add it to 4. What do we get?
168. Oh, wait, we got
180.
I think it's 184.
Yeah.
I missed the part.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my notes, and I don't think I did it wrong on my notes. Now, we got to think about, can 184, it can be simplified, and you know what? Oh, yeah, I did simplify it. All right. So, let's go ahead and work with this 184 here. 4, how did I know 4 goes into it? Because 4 goes into 84. Last 2 digits tell you if you can divide it by 4. 4 goes in how many times?
46.
46?
Mhm.
So, it's really 4 plus or minus 2 radical 46 over 4. We're not done. 4 plus 2 radical 46 over 4. Yeah, we are done. I'm sorry. Since this can't, you're done. The only way you would continue is if this were a 4, then you could divide them both. You're done.
So then if it was
Plus or minus. Here's the answer. Right there.
if it was like a 4 instead of the 2,
I would go ahead and divide it, because then you don't, yeah.
so would it then be like a 4?
Let's just do it. Let's pretend this was a 4. Then it would be what? 1 plus or minus radical 46.
Good.
Because you divide them both. That's 1, that's 1. I don't think I'm going to give you anything that complicated.
How would you graph that?
Well, you can't. You could graph it to the nearest hundredth. This would be 6 point something. You're not going to be graphing these. You're just finding the answers now. All right, let's take 2x equals x squared minus 3. What should I do? Yes, you have to have it in standard form first. I would put 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. Can you factor it? Then I know what's in my square root's going to be a perfect square. My discriminant is going to be a perfect square. So in this case, on your final, factor it. But let's go ahead and prove it to you that the quadratic formulas, let's just do it both ways. Okay, somebody factor it. X minus 3. So my answers are 3 and negative 1. Let's just put that here. 3 and negative 1. Quadratic formula. I did have a kid take a whole final only using quadratic formula because he couldn't factor, but he didn't finish it because it takes too long. Okay, the opposite of B,
2.
plus or minus 4, 1, negative 3. It's going to be 16. All over 2a. So 2 plus or minus square root of 16 all over 2. 2 plus 4 over 2. 2 minus 4 over 2. There's your 2 answers. Okay? If you have time on your final, you could go back and use the quadratic formula to check it, or you could I don't know. I just say, if you get done with your final before it's over, I'm not going to be here to nag you. Don't turn it in. Go back and keep checking it. You know, foil your factoring problem. See if you get the other one back, what you started with. Let's not blow an A because we're lazy. All right, here's another ugly one. X squared minus 9x plus 20. Factorable?
Yeah.
How?
-4, -5.
Oh yeah, it is. Wonder why I didn't do that. Oh, never mind. That's not the one I wanted to give you. Yes, this one's factorable, and the answer would be 4 and 5. Let's not do it with the quadratic formula. Here's one. This is the one I wanted to give you. Not factorable. Okay? If it's not factorable, this is your only way to go. Can't do it by square roots. I didn't teach you the fourth way, so let's use it. X equals the opposite of B plus or minus square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Yeah?
It should be -5 for C.
Candy. So, X equals 10 plus or minus, what do we get there? 40. It's 40, isn't it?
No,
Yeah, 100.
no.
It is 40. It's 100 minus.
It's 140.
Wait a minute. I gave you the wrong problem. That's why I had it wrong. It's, okay, it's 40. I meant for it to be 40. I copied it wrong. All right, so that's 40 all over 6. Now let's deal with that radical 40. This is why I taught you to fix them. Radical 2. I was doing what you were doing. Radical 4, radical 10, 2, radical 10. So we have 10 plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 6. I think that's good enough.
Yep.
Now let's see if you can plug this into a calculator if it says round to the nearest hundredth. So you're going to have to do 10 plus radical 2 over 10 and 10 minus 2 radical 10 over 6. Let's get two answers here. This is a calculator issue. You got one of them?
Yeah.
Caleb, what?
0.61.
6.61 is one of them. What's the other one?
2.72.
No,
2.72.
2.72. Let's make sure everybody can get those. And let's help each other with the calculators if you can't. Although I think, and I'll let you know before we take the final, that I didn't make you round anything. I think I had you all your answers in simplest radical form.
Oh.
Yeah, because not being able to use a calculator is not a good reason to get a bad grade. Everybody can get those two numbers? You have to hit equal after, before you divide by 6. Otherwise, your calculator is taking the square root of 10 divided by 6. It doesn't know that you have to divide everything by 6 unless you let it know. Are we good? Anybody need to help each other? No? All right. Let's see what I have on the back. Oh, the back is just the discriminant. So what I'm going to do on your final, or I did on your final, it's done, is I will have a question like, I have two of them. How many solutions will there be? All you have to do is b squared minus 4ac If you get a 0, how many solutions? 1. If you get a positive number, 2. Negative number, yeah. That is the last lesson of the year.
Whoa.